everyone out there on the great wide interwebs. Now, back when I was a blossoming YouTuber, I got a friend request from MikeShanklin, or voluntaryvirtues.com. He has 2 channels. And being a noob to YouTube, I was like, yay, I have a friend! And so I went and friended him without really knowing what his channel was about. And I went later and looked at his channel and learned that he was an anarcho-capitalist. Anarcho-capitalism, the movement founded by Murray Rothbard, advocating the total abolition of the state to create a truly free capitalist society. And this video I'm about to show you, I originally saw, I think, last Thanksgiving, and I tried to respond to it through my iPod, except something was wrong with the microphone on my iPod, so I uploaded the video, and Dalebert11 alerted me that the audio was all messed up, so I took the video down. But since tax day was yesterday, I think this is kind of a relevant point to be making, and so here's the video.
Ready to help freedom by making it mainstream? Join the Facebook page 1 million plus to opt out of statism / not pay taxes in 2015 and show your support for voluntarism. The goal is to educate enough voluntarists that nothing will be able to stop the message of true freedom and the non-aggression principle from going mainstream, while at the same time largely decreasing the amount of revenue the government can collect to spend on things like victimless crimes, interfering with peaceful transactions, wars, and oligopolizing industries. If we don't reach 1 million supporters by 2015, we will simply extend the deadline for a later date. But we truly believe we can obtain 1 million plus supporters within the next 3 years. Be a part of it. Join us voluntarists who are ready to take the message mainstream. Simply like the Facebook page and tell those you know who might be interested. And thanks for supporting the message of peace, freedom, and prosperity.
Okay, even though that's a pretty short video, it's certainly got a lot of meat to it, so I just want to respond to the points he makes here. Okay, first of all, I agree with a lot of what MikeShanklin is saying. That, the government taxes us too much, that the government spends too much of its money on victimless crimes like the drug war, that it spends too much time regulating peaceful economic activity and policing the world, and he has a picture that says taxation is theft. And yes, I agree, in principle, of course taxation is theft. But he's approaching this from the wrong angle. We shouldn't solve this problem by disobeying the laws. We should solve this problem by changing the laws and guaranteeing everyone in society a more peaceful, voluntary, liberty-filled existence. Thomas Jefferson said something akin to, and I'm paraphrasing here, these aren't his exact words, whenever the general government assumes powers that are not delegated by the Constitution, those acts are null and void. So in a nutshell, citizens have no obligation to be constrained by or follow unconstitutional acts. Now, if taxation flagrantly violated the Constitution or was a power not given to Congress, it would be different if you said you were going to opt out or not pay taxes. But Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution allows Congress to lay and collect taxes, and whether or not you like income taxes, the 16th Amendment allows Congress to lay and collect taxes on any forms of income. So it is constitutional for the government to lay and collect taxes. And whether or not you agree with the idea of taxation, whether or not you agree with the income tax, and whether or not you think we're being taxed too much, it's irrelevant. Because if you say, well, I think it's coercive, I think it's wrong, so therefore I'm not going to pay my income tax, you're going to destroy whatever idea is left in America of the rule of law. And once the rule of law is gone, we're going to have anarchy. And if you can disobey the government for something that's constitutional, like tax paying, then what's going to stop people from disobeying other constitutional measures that would prevent people from harming one another and breaking contracts? Once you say that rule of law is gone, you really have nothing left. You're going to have anarchy. And the worst thing is, it's not even going to solve the problem, because if you did manage to get 1 million people or more to opt out of paying their taxes, and the government did lose substantial revenue, the government wouldn't say, well, we're going to eliminate programs or shrink back the size of government or whatever. They would say, we're going to print more money, or we're going to borrow more money in order to cover the difference. So you're either going to end up with more debt or more inflation, both of which are bad and hurt the poor and the elderly the most. And so, really, you can't have this bit of anarcho-capitalism in a statist society. You'd have to go to anarcho-capitalism, which is a whole nother debate. And just, the bottom line is this isn't the right way to approach the problem. If you really want to solve the problem, what you should do is push for constitutional measures to restrain the federal government, push to get rid of unconstitutional programs and departments, and push to decentralize the government, push to shrink the government, and bring it to its minimum. So that's just what I think about this, and I thought it was an interesting thing to talk about, especially since yesterday was tax day. Anyway, free market rocks, government intervention knocks, and price system barriers make the situation hairier. Sorry, Murray Rothbard. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and check out these other awesome channels for liberty.